If you want to make your own photo zine but feel overwhelmed by the process,
then this video is for you.
I'll walk you through the easiest way to make one using a method that is simple, fun and totally beginner friendly. Let's start with the basics. A zine, short for magazine or fanzine, is a small self-published booklet. People have used them for decades to share their personal stories, art, politics, photography, you name it. Zines come from DIY culture, especially punk and feminist scenes, and they're all about making something on your own terms. For us, a photo zine is just a physical and creative way to collect and share our photography. There are several reasons why I recommend making a zine with your photography. Even if you shoot film, oftentimes our photos stay stuck on a computer drive or a digital screen. But if you make a zine, you bring your photos into the real world. Seeing prints is a completely different experience than looking at photos on a screen. Plus, just the idea of making a physical zine can really motivate you to work on a certain photo project and to shoot more intentionally. Another perk is that making a zine is far less intimidating than making an actual photo book. Zines are supposed to be small and are by origin designed to share your personal views. There are no rules to making a zine. You can do it completely your way and on your own terms. Don't overthink it. Perfectionism is something that can really hold us back, and sometimes it can even stop us from creating anything at all. Just remember, most of the time, done is better than perfect. This zine isn't your life's work. It's not a memoir or a photo book. It's just a zine. It's not supposed to be an elaborate body of work. It's just something that reflects where you are right now. And if it's your first time making a zine, it's also just an experiment. Remember to just keep it small and fun and focus on the process. Before we start putting our zine together, the first thing we'll need, of course, is photos. And picking the right ones can feel like a big task. But don't worry, here are a few easy ways to narrow it down. If you've recently been on vacation, for example, you can use your favorite photos of your trip to make a zine. You can also focus on a specific project you've been working on, or even just focus on one specific roll of film. Back in 2020, I decided to make one self-portrait for every day that Belgium was in quarantine. So in my zine Quarantine, I put together a selection of some of these self-portraits. Another way to pick the photos is by sticking to a certain format. For example, you can make a zine using only your Polaroid photos. And if you don't have a specific theme or project in mind, then you can always go through your archive and see if you can't find a common thread to a lot of your photos. That is what I did for Red and Shadows, two zines that I recently made. Since I've been making self-portraits for over a decade, some themes are bound to emerge. I noticed I have been particularly inspired over the years by the color red and also by the play of light and shadow. My zine Analog Diaries, on the other hand, uses a mix of archive photos from the last months with a few photos that I took specifically for the zine. The amount of photos you choose for your zine is completely up to you, but for a first zine I would definitely recommend keeping it small and sweet. You can always start off with a bigger selection and then narrow it down while you're doing the layout for your zine. I personally made my zines to have about 28 photos, but you can easily do less or more as well. Now that we've picked our photos, it's a good idea to start thinking about how we're actually going to share our zine, and that is where today's sponsor, Pixpa, comes in. Pixpa is an all-in-one website builder for photographers and creatives, and it's a great way to share your zine online. Whether you're selling it, showcasing it, or you just want to tell the story behind it. I recently made my own website with Pixpa, and I really love their beautiful templates and all the special features they have for photographers. Aside from showcasing your work in different photo galleries, you can also set up private client galleries, blog posts, and even an online store. Making a new website can be tricky, but I found the Pixpa website really easy to set up. And when I did have a question, I would ask their customer service and I'd immediately get a response. I also made a quick landing page for my zines in particular, as well as a blog post. And if you choose to sell your zines yourself, then you can also set up a store and sell them as physical products or even as a digital download. If you're looking for a beautiful way to share your zine with the world, then Pixpa is a great option. Try it for free with the link in my description, and when you're ready to purchase, use code EPIC to get 40% off. Thank you so much Pixpa for supporting my small channel, and now let's get back to step number 3. Now that we've chosen our photos, let's move on to creating our actual zine. Zines come from DIY culture, so there is definitely the possibility to completely make them yourself. You can print them at home or even use a local printing service to print small batches. But if you want to be able to share your zine with a broader audience, then I would recommend using an online printing service. I have used Blurb in the past and I decided to go with them for a few reasons. One is that people can buy your zines directly through them, and Blurb will print a zine at one of their printers around the world which is closest to the buyer. So if someone in the US, for example, would want to buy one of my zines while I'm here in France, then they can do so through Blurb and pay minimal shipping costs. Of course, if you do it this way, then that means that you won't be able to check the quality of each zine, and you also won't be able to add any personalization. But if you want to do that, you can still do so by ordering the zines from Blurb and then sending them out yourself. One thing I have noticed is that Blurb's shipping prices in Europe have gone up quite a bit since last time I used them, so that was a bit of a surprise when I was uploading my zines, but at the same time they do send out promo codes regularly, so I did get a bit of a discount there. Another perk of Blurb in particular when you're new to making zines is that they have their own free software called Bookwrite, which is a really easy tool to design your zine, so you don't need to have any fancy software or specific design knowledge to create a beautiful zine. So once you've chosen your format, you can start by adding your photos. The way I went about it was by adding one photo to a page and then playing around with different photos to see which one would work best. Here are a few things that I did try to keep in mind when selecting photo spreads. When looking at the colors, I would try to pair photos that either had similar colors or that had colors that complemented each other. While a lot of my photos were shot horizontally, I did try to add some vertical photos once in a while to visually break up the pattern. And if one photo was showing a wider landscape, I tried to pair it with a photo that had a bit more detail in it. Another cool thing about layout is that it can really create a story, and sometimes even a story that you weren't really expecting. Sometimes one particular photo can put another photo in a completely different light just by placing it next to it. Since we're making a photo zine, the design can stay really minimal and you don't have to create any crazy layouts if you don't feel comfortable with it. Give yourself a few days away from the project. When you come back, you will see things with fresh eyes and probably notice things you didn't notice before. Before you finalize your zine, it's probably a good idea to order a test print. If there are any major issues, you can still go back in and fix them. That said, try not to fall back into the trap of perfectionism. Mistakes happen and each zine teaches you something for the next one. For example, I learned that a dark photo on the back can show through on the front. And that is something that I'll definitely be watching out for next time. And that's it. You've made a zine. Whether you keep it, trade it, sell it, or give it away, you have created a real tangible thing from your photography. And that is something to be proud of. Now, if you want to show off or sell your hard work, remember to check out Pixpa to make your own website. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!